one video from the previous one. We didn't want the video to be too long for you. I want it to be a nice short stretching sequence. So again, so the class is based on, if you're brand new to this video, you're going to want to watch the video before, otherwise this one might be a little bit confusing. Otherwise throw yourself in, right? So it's based on my left feline movement, which is Melissa BellyDance creation. And it's specifically designed for myself and my dancers and my students to work on their flexibility, mobility in general, but specifically for my style of dance that I teach to allow the movement to be able to be possible in the first place, right? Because a lot of it is quite, bendy. So we need to look at the shapes. Anyway, even if you're not a dancer, this video is still going to be fun, all right? So we're going to crack on where we left off. I'm going to backtrack a little bit. I'm going to go to the circle squats. Okay, so again, if you're brand new to this, your first video, you're going to want to watch the other one first, otherwise your body's not going to be warm enough to do any of this, okay? So we're going straight in. I'm going to go down into my plie, and we're going to do our circle squats. So I shift to the side, I releve, I come up onto the tiptoes, shift, bring the heel down and shift across. Up and over, vertical circle with the body, okay? And we're really opening through the legs. This is opening the hips, strengthening the legs. So the feline movement, keep going with me. The higher you raise the heels, the harder it's going to be, but the prettier it's going to be, and the more challenging, the more we're going to get good shape in your legs. So for me, chest circle as well if you wish. Option 2 is the chest circle. The feline movement is based on flexibility, mobility, and strengthening for the body, regardless whether you're a dancer or not, or whether for me, when you're in this video with me, I consider you to be dancers, regardless of your background, even if you've never done it before, because it's the style of the technique that we apply in terms of pointing the toes and the shapes we make with our body. Get a dancer's body, right? Anyway, so the movement there is to help my students and my dancers to get the best out of their bodies and their movement, particularly with techniques that I teach in things like tribal from a trap, which is my style, tribal fusion, and even my style, belly dance, full stop, or dance, because I do more than belly dance. So it's just the idea of being able to use the body as much as possible and get the best shapes that requires mobility and flexibility and strength, which is good for you regardless. Okay? So now we're gonna go into the figure of eights. You might need to close your legs a little bit. Front to back, front to back. Bend the knees, my legs are not straight. I'm shifting the weight from one leg to the other. Okay, so depending on your floor, what floor you have, wherever you are, you might prefer to wear socks. You don't want your feet to get stuck because you don't want to twist your knee. So, think about that. Pay attention, modify all of these movements where needed to suit you. Okay, and fold over. I shift the hips from one side to the other. Keep going here for a little bit for me. So it's still a horizontal 8, but it's in a folded position. I'm going to face a few different directions for you so you can see it, just to remind you how the movement goes. So keep going. I'm going to face the side. There you go to the side, shift it. So you have to get the weight from one leg to the other. I am not collapsing onto my thighs either. Okay, swaying. Let's have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Keep going. I'm going to face the back in case it's helpful. Shift, shift, and make my figure of 8. I'm going to stay at the back here so you can see what happens with the legs next. So option 1, you've got blocks. If you need them, press pause, I'll grab them. If the floor's too far away, you can use the blocks to help you, okay? Option 2, or 3 even by now, is we come onto tiptoe on the hip that's moving. So I go up, and this is where the swivel of the feet becomes really important. Because if you don't swivel your feet, you are going to twist your knee. You do not want to do that. So if this isn't available to you yet and it's too complicated and it's not really working for you, I advise just shift your hips from side to side instead. Okay, so you haven't got to twist your knee. Otherwise, round, round. This is working for our torso. So just to clarify, this video is more about the stretching of the torso. This area here. Okay, roll up. When you go into the circles, so circle squats one more time. Okay, so we take it, shift, releve, up, over, down. And then the second option is to add in a chest circle. Round, round. Yes. want some really cool music to stretch to, to do anything to actually, it's Tribal from the Trap, which is music is made by Tribal from the Trap. And it's available everywhere, so Spotify, Google Play, you can get some stuff on YouTube, see some music videos of me and my dance team, Hero Girls dancing as well, to the videos. So the music is available everywhere and it's license free. So if you're somebody who needs to use music for social media or whatever, you can use the music without any problems. All right, 2 more. Let's do 1 more. Okay, we're gonna do Spider Girl. It's my name for it, okay? Spider Girl. Or Spider-Man, right? If you're a guy. All right, whatever. So you bring the blocks in. If the floor's too far away, you can use blocks. If it's not too far away, you cross the hands. Okay? I'll show you this fast. So you cross the wrist, the arms are nice and straight. We do the same figure of 8 motion. If it's too much, you just do hip slides. Shifting it from side to side. Otherwise, you try to get into your figure of 8s. Remember, you have to pivot on the ball of your foot. Otherwise, you will be shunny. All right, we're gonna do our circle squats, or at least attempt to, in this position here. Okay, what does that look like? It looks like this. So, I shift. So we're opening, okay? And if this is too much, of course, keep your hands wide, okay? From here, I tiptoe, I releve, I shift. Heel down, and I come through. So this is like tabletop squat. I'll face the side in a second so you can see. So you see Spider Girl, or Spider-Man. Shift over. Releve, up, stretch, over. And come through. Keep going, I'm gonna face the side. So, don't need the blocks, you can use the floor instead. Okay, all right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come down, I'm gonna shift, tiptoe, straighten the legs, up and over, down, and I come through, I hit tabletop. Squeeze your bottom really hard, lengthen the neck. Okay, here we go again. So up and over, down, shift. I'll face the back. Sorry to show you my bum, but I think it might be easy for you to see from the back as well. So, let's have, keep going, don't wait for me, let's go. All right, shift. I'm gonna go up and over, Spider Girl, and shift through, around, up and over, hips, down, shift through. One more time, up and over. Shift, down, hold it here, little pulses, back, don't let your bottom go lower than your knees, okay? 4, 3, 2, feel really bad, just stick my bum in your face, so I'm gonna turn around. All right, so you get the idea, right? So now we're gonna alternate figure of 8s with that. Cross your arms the other way if you've been doing Spider-Man or Spider Girl. Okay. We're going to go the other direction. First of all, figure of 8s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, smile, 8. Shift it. 1, releve, up, stretch, shift those hips, down, land, come through, over, raise the toe. Modify your position if you have to, okay? So you shouldn't feel any pain. Pain of like stretching or like muscles working is different, but not pain like that hurts, okay? Shift, up and over, shift, use your hips. Okay, and now watch, we're gonna go into a low lunge. You might need to modify this, okay? So some people prefer to have the knee facing forward. Watch before you do it, please. Some people prefer the knee forward, some people prefer to hand out to the side. Either way, the knee has to be in line with the big toe and second toe, and you come down. You might not be able to get your heel completely to your bottom, so you can use your blocks accordingly, okay, if you need to be more up. But I would prefer you to take your toes to the ceiling. But you have to modify this position. Everyone feels the position very differently, and everyone's hips are different, so it might not really work for you. Modify it, please. If you can put your heel on the floor, great. If it's not available to you, stay up. Otherwise, you can use a block. Get creative. Yeah? Whatever you want, right? Okay. So we're going to stay here. I'm just going to turn towards the leg. Optional, okay? Option 1, hold. And option 2, we're gonna dive. I'm gonna put my hand on the other side of the leg and I go forward. Forward and rise. Undulations, use the body, snake. Again, that might not be something available to you right now, but we use this a lot to help mobilize the body in my style of dance, okay? The way that I teach and the way that I move, it's important that I teach you how to move the body. So even if you're not gonna come to my dance classes, then this will still be opening the body. You should feel a nice stretch. Be careful this knee doesn't completely lock back. If you need some support, get a cushion or a pillow or something, yeah, so you can get a good stretch. All right, we're going back into Spider-Man or Spider-Girl. How? Okay, you might be a bit stuck. So, you're gonna push up. Okay, and again. Okay, so blocks or no blocks, I let you choose, fingertips. All right, figure of 8 first. You want to close your leg a little bit. One, if the figure of 8 doesn't work for you and it feels uncomfortable, listen to your body, okay? You might just want to shift it from side to side. That's totally fine. This is just as good, right? I'm just sharing with you my way, things that I like to do. So over, but you have to swivel on the feet to do this one. Otherwise, it's just not gonna be good. Okay. All right, circle squats. So shift up and over. Up, shift it, come through. Up, shift it, come through. Up, shift it. We're gonna now take it to the floor on this side. Look for that. Option 1, halt. Option 2, use your blocks accordingly. If you want to. Sometimes it's good, look, you can get yourself into a really decent posture if you want to work on your posture in this position as well. So it's not that the blocks are for babies. Blocks are not for babies, okay? So it's really useful, blocks are really useful for beginners to help you get into the right position and give you some support, because you don't want to be gripping in your stretches. You want to be relaxed in your stretches, otherwise it defeats the purpose. But also if you're more advanced, it allows you to get better shape and get deeper as well. So I like to use the blocks all the time, actually. So you can use them to get a nice posture and open and really get a better shape. And really open everything. Or you can use them to help you find your support and balance if it's too much. Remember what I said? This particular stretch I find is different from person to person a lot. So you need to make sure it works for you. I like to open my knee up, open my hips, but that's me. You might need to have your knee more forwards. Ideally, you want to turn the toes to the ceiling. If you're feeling anything really uncomfortable in your knees or your hips, you need to modify. You must modify this into your body. Option 1, we hold it, continue holding it. Option 2, you can put your hands on either side, or use blocks if you prefer, and you can do forward and back. Okay, so either you can come straight down, and up, and down, and up, or you can dive and snake forwards, and up. Use your body, forward, and up, and forwards. Last time. Somehow come out, might be a little bit stuck. Okay, we're going to take it to the floor now to continue the sequence that I started in the previous video. Okay, so you can always put these together into a little playlist and watch them as many times as you like. Alright, I'd love you to tag me in your videos actually of doing this stuff. So if you're into that sort of stuff, tag me. It's Melissa BellyDance, same way as it's spelled on my YouTube channel on Facebook. Melissa, if you want to find it, it's Melissa.BellyDance. Let's get the legs like this. Melissa.BellyDance. Or Instagram @MelissaBellyDance. Tag me. I'd love to see what you're up to. Let me see how it looks. And give you some advice if need be. Okay, cool. So we're going to start off with our arm circles. We're going to do a little more sequence now, focusing more on this area here. So for now, sit here. You might need a block underneath your bottom if it's more comfortable for you. So, you know, set yourself up accordingly. All right, first of all, we're going to do ribcage slides. So, option 1, just use your hands out to the side or on your hips, or have a block to help you. If it's too far away, you can turn it. And we're just basically trying to shift the ribs from one side to the other. Trying to keep the center of your pelvis and your chin in alignment. So if you're brand new to this, in belly dance we call this, well in my school we call it ribcage slides, because the ribcage is sliding on a straight line, side to side. If you're brand new to this, you might be like, that looks really easy, but what the hell, I can't do it. It's really normal. So it's about body awareness and body control, and it takes time to do that. So if you're brand new to it, this isn't really working for you, by all means give it a go just for fun, or just stay really still and continue to work on your stretch. Otherwise, you're going side to side. Your goal is to try to keep the head still, but what might happen is this, and you might not even realize it, and you might be like, oh my God, how do I keep my head still? It's an isolation. You still want to lift the chest or keep the shoulders down, and as usual I refer to the cobra neck, which is in my school, really long neck, or we call it the swan neck or the ballerina neck. It's basically having a really long graceful neck. Okay, so now we're going to take it into the up and overs, into the side stretches. Okay, so we're going to make circles first. The arm's going to go up and over, it's going to come down and under. It's going to go up and over, and it's going to come down and under. And now as we do this, we're going to slide through the rib cage. So I go over and underneath. But look, as my arm comes up, I keep my neck long. I don't lose my neck. Okay, if it's too far away and uncomfortable, you can use a block. Or if you want to use a block to help you get a better stretch, even if you're more advanced, use a block. Okay? You can have it before or behind. Before or behind. Before, in front or behind. Okay, we're going to add on. Okay, so now, option one, stay with this if this feels really good. You need to keep this hip down. If this is uncomfortable and this leg is like this and it's just really uncomfortable and it's gripping in the hip, keep moving while I'm talking to you, please. If you find that you're gripping in the hip and you can't do this, get a block or a pillow or something so you can rest and just relax the leg. You don't want to be gripping your stretches, it defeats the purpose. In my method at least, okay? So we go over. All right, so now we're going to add on. We're going to go over, find the length of the stretch. We're going to do a rotation over the leg. We're going to open and come underneath. We're going again. Up and over, rotate, face your leg, open, and up. Again, sorry, I forgot the under. Over, twist, open, underneath. Last time. Over, twist, open, under. Okay, now we're going to pull back. Option one, stay like this. Option two, we're going to go round, circle, and lift the hip. Stretch as we reach that leg away from you. Underneath. Let's go again. Over, under, sweep, up, circle, stretch. Underneath. Over, under, sweep, up, round, up, right the toe down towards the floor, and stretch. Okay, we'll do the other side. So hopefully you should feel a bit more opening. Change legs. Off we go. So again, sit yourself up nice and comfortable. You might need to sit on a block. You might need a block underneath the leg for support so that you're not gripping in the hip. The purpose is to release the hips. So we don't want to grip and hold on. It shouldn't be too intense. If it's too intense, that means you're holding the stretch and you're not relaxing into the stretch, which defeats the whole purpose. In my method, that's what we do, okay? So you want to relax. Okay, so let's go. Block or no block, you choose. Over, under. When you go over, you're trying to stretch this. Keep this hip on the floor. So only go as far as you can whilst this hip can stay down. Over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. So if you like the idea of the Le Femme Feline stuff, I have a Le Femme Feline series as well, which is based on movements and stretches. So keep going with that. Alright, so we're going to go over. Option one, stay and hold and stretch, or keep moving as you did in the previous side. Otherwise, we're going to go over. We're going to twist, open, and down. Again, I've got the under, sorry. Over, 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 down and under. Over, rotate, over, and under. Alright, over, twist, open, and underneath. Okay, so now pull back and reach forwards. Circle. If it's too much, you can just keep hips on the floor. Drive that big toe down towards the floor. Underneath. Over, under, sweep, over, around and up. And down. Two more. I'm losing myself while I'm trying to talk to you at the same time. But you get the idea, right? Up and over, stretch. If it doesn't work for you, keep your hips on the floor. Don't do it, okay? You have to listen to doing what suits your body is really important. Everybody's body is different. And down. And release. So that concludes the side stretch warm up. I've got loads, loads and loads and loads, but that's enough for today, I think. So just to get you started. So if you're really into that sort of stuff, come to my classes, send me a message. And if there's any particular areas you want to stretch, let me know. And I will try my best to put something together for you guys. So thank you so much. And if you're interested in music as well, music is Tribal from the Trap. And it's on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, everywhere. Okay, tag me in your videos. I'd love to see you in action. All right, okay, bye-bye.